So a few months back, I made a video on First Citizens and how you can get your business funded through them. But just like other banks have been doing recently, First Citizens has made a lot of different changes that will greatly impact how you get business funding from them. So in this video, I'm going to break down everything that you need to know and all the different updates that they have made so that you can go in confidently and get your business funded. So let's head over to my computer and break everything down. All right, so we are on First Citizens website, and I want to go through what's changed and what the underwriting process is looking like now due to, again, some of the different switch ups and changes that has happened. But what I do want to tell you is what hasn't changed is how you have to start the relationship process with First Citizens. So you're still going to need to open a business bank account. Again, that part hasn't changed, and that's always the first step with a lot of these different banks. So with the business checking account, you want to just set up the most simplest checking account that you can get. You don't need anything crazy unless it's something that you actually do need as the business owner. Obviously, you'll know if there's like different minimum spends or monthly thresholds that you need to be at to qualify for certain things. So but again, for most people, you can just get a basic business checking account. Get that set up so that you can establish the relationship. Now, I know a lot of times people ask about bank ratings and things like that. If you need to deposit a certain amount of funds in the account, and that really just depends from bank to bank. Some banks that actually does help you. Some banks it really doesn't matter. So with this particular bank, it's going to be one of those situations where they're going to be looking for a lot of different things, which we will get into in the data point section. So make sure you stay tuned later on in the video. So we'll break down the data points. But first things first, get that business checking account set up. And then let's go ahead and talk about some of their different funding options. So I want to start off talking about business lines of credit, because as you guys know, if you watch my channel, that is probably one of my favorite types of business funding to get. And with First Citizens, they do offer business lines of credit. So that's always good. But business lines of credit, if you don't know what that is, it's kind of like a hybrid between a term loan and a business credit card. It's revolving like a card, and it has a actual physical card attached to it. However, it's liquid like a business loan, so you can actually withdraw it, transfer it directly to your business bank account. You can write checks from it, things of that nature. So that's why business lines of credit are really good. Also with First Citizens, they do business loans as well for a multitude of different things. And as you guys see, you see equipment financing right here. I do want to touch on that because equipment financing with First Citizens is actually one of their kind of bread and butter things. A lot of times people like really sleep on equipment financing, and that's actually a really good way of getting funding for your business. You may need like a business vehicle, especially for people like that are in the construction or manufacturing, stuff like that, which, by the way, if you're in one of those two industries, First Citizens loves to work with like construction. So that's a little tidbit for you right there. But with First Citizens and equipment financing, like I said, with construction, a lot of times they need like dump trucks or they need tractors. And so instead of just trying to like get a business credit card and liquidate it, or just try to purchase it like that, you can get equipment financing, which is made specifically for that. And a lot of times you can get a lower interest rate, one, and then two, you'll be able to come in with a lower credit score as well. So again, there's a lot of different benefits to going with like equipment financing that a lot of people don't know. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, go ahead and smash that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications so you will be notified every time I drop a new video. So next, we're going to be going over the business credit cards. This is kind of what everybody knows, and what most people are going to want access to, and it's the business credit card. So they do have three at the making of this video. They got their premium rewards business credit card, they have the rewards business credit card, and then they have the cash rewards business credit card. So typically what I tell people is, especially if you're like a startup or you're new in business, you want to try to get the longest 0% interest APR period that you possibly can. Okay. And it will be this one right here. It's going to be the low interest business credit card. So After making this video, you'll be able to get 0% interest APR on purchases and balance transfers for the first 12 months. Okay. And also there is no annual fee as well. So that's exactly what you want on a business credit card. Long 0% interest APR periods, and being able to maximize that for, business needs, working capital, whatever the situation is. If you do want like some rewards and you're really gonna sacrifice a couple of months off of the 0% interest, the cash rewards would be a good option for you in this particular scenario, because it does give you 5% cash back on utility and wireless phone purchases for the first 12 months, and then it's 3% thereafter, and then you get 2% cash back on gas and office supplies, and then 1% cash back on all other purchases. And then they have a sign-up offer where you'll get $100 bonus cash back after you spend $3,000 in the first 90 days. So not the best sign-up offer, but it is something. Okay, and you do get that 0% interest APR period for 9 months. All right, so that's a good bit of time to knock that out and do that. And so really, when you're trying to go after business credit cards, you gotta really, honestly, it's any type of business funding, guys, you want to make sure that you're knowing exactly what you're going to be using the funding for. A lot of times people just try to go get this business funding just to say they got it, but they don't really have a plan for it. And when you don't have a plan, it usually bites you in the butt. So you don't want to be one of these people out here that get some business funding and they just use it, and then they didn't have a plan, and then they look up and they've used all of their business funding that they got. The 0% interest APR period is running out, and they haven't even done nothing with the business that they're trying to do, right? So you don't want to be one of those people. All right, now we're going to go ahead and get into the data points. And so how we get these data points is from two ways: from me myself applying for these banks a lot of times, but also from our clients and our mentorship program, and directly from my banking contacts at these institutions. So we got contacts at First Citizens that our mentorship program clients get access to. So we're going to go over the data points directly from them to know what they're looking for right now. So the first thing you want to know is that First Citizens is a regional bank. So that means they're not in all 50 states. Okay. So the states that they're in currently is going to be Arizona, California, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Kansas, Maryland, Massachusetts, Missouri, Nebraska, Nevada, New Mexico, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Oregon, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, Washington, and Wisconsin. Okay, these are the states that they have a branch in, and you want to make sure that your business is domestically set up in one of these states. I do want to preface domestically. A lot of times, especially like years ago, you could get like foreign entities and like foreign file into one of these states, but a lot of these different regional banks are like hip to the game now. And, they're going to make you have residence in that particular state. So they'll want like your driver's license to be in the state of the branch that you're in, stuff like that. So they're trying to just close up a lot of these loopholes that used to work years ago. So you want to make sure your business is domestically filed in one of these states for this to work. Now, you don't have to have any previous banking relationship. So you can walk in, never having had anything with them, and then go ahead and set up a business bank account and then kind of start the process with all this. Now, obviously, if you've had like a personal account with them, or you already had a business account with them prior and you hadn't applied for any funding yet, obviously that's going to increase your chances if you got positive history with those accounts. But again, it's not necessarily required. Okay. So the next thing you want to know is they do mostly double pull from Equifax and Experian. Okay. Now I do see sometimes where they may only pull one, but just be prepared for them to pull Equifax again and Experian. All right. Next, the business needs to be at least 6 months old. So that's really important. They don't want to deal with like brand new businesses that just popped up. They want to have a little bit of age to them. Okay. So let's get into the credit requirements. So you're going to need at least a 720 credit score on Experian and Equifax. Now, make sure when I say credit score, we're talking about FICO score. So don't check your credit score on, Credit Karma or anything like that. You want to use FICO sources. So whether it be, from your credit cards that give you your FICO scores, or my recommendation is always set up an account with Experian, because they give you all three bureaus and your FICO scores and full reports. So I always recommend doing something like that. Utilization needs to be under 10%. That's very, very important. A lot of people come in here thinking they can have utilization at 20% or 25% or 30, whatever. That's too high for business funding. If you really want to, increase your percentages, increase your odds of getting the approvals that you're seeking, you want to make sure you're under 10%. All right. So no collections, no late pays, no charge-offs, no BKs. So really no negative items at all. Months back, you could be able to get away with having some late pays that are 2 years or older. Right now, I'm not saying it's completely impossible, but you're better off just not having any negative items at all with how these banks are underwriting these days. Okay. Also, no more than 2 new accounts or inquiries in the last 3 months. That's very important. Anything more than that, you look like you're thirsty for credit, and it looks like you're what they call credit hunting. So I always tell people banks love people that look like they don't need the credit. All right. And how you look like you don't need it is by having very low utilization, a lot of credit available to you, and then also not applying for a lot of credit often. All right. So those are the key things there. So for the BLOCs, so business lines of credit, term loans, equipment financing, all those different types of things, they are going to ask for tax returns. Okay, you guys want to make sure you know that. Now, if your business is 2 years or older, they're only going to typically need 1 year of tax returns. Okay. And so a lot of times business owners get so scared when they hear tax returns. But if you've been in business 2 years and you got some revenue going, you don't need a lot of money. If you can show at least about 90 to 100,000 in top line revenue on your tax returns and then not have like a net negative. So basically it means on your net profit, you didn't take a loss on the business. That's very important as well. If you got those two things, again, all these different funding options will unlock for you. Business lines of credit, business term loans, equipment financing, SBA, like all these different things, they unlock when you got a year of tax returns if you're 2 years in business or more. So that's very important for you to know, and that's not anything different with First Citizens. They're going to want tax returns for all those different funding options that I just gave you. So next, and this is one of the newest kind of changes, they want to see comparable credit on the business side for all financial products. So that includes credit cards as well. Now, when you talk about business comparable credit, it's something that you can manufacture. It's something that we help our mentorship clients with in our mentorship program. But again, really, if you just got business funding already, like if you go get a business credit card from another bank first and let that report to your business credit profile and kind of have good history with that, that would count as business comparable credit. Okay. So there's really 2 ways you can do it. But again, for First Citizens, that's what they want to see to be able to get any type of business funding from them. Now, listen, if you are a business owner and you're trying to get business funding and you're tired of doing all this guessing or just, watching YouTube videos ad nauseum, and you want to just get our help, have us build you a custom funding strategy that's going to be specific to your needs and what you're trying to use the business funding for, go ahead and click the link in the pinned comment. It's going to take you to a page where you can fill out a short questionnaire and then book a time to speak with either me or one of my team members. And on that call, we'll go ahead and break down our 3-step strategy in our program and how we can help you get business funding in under 30 days using our system. Okay. This is for business owners that are very serious. They want to move quick about this. We can help you even if your credit score is not good yet. We can go ahead and go in and repair that credit first and then get you ready for business funding. So either way, if your credit's good, we can help you. If your credit's not good, we can go ahead and help you as well. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click the link in the pinned comment. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and smash that like button if you enjoyed today's content. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications so you will be notified every time I drop a new video. And if you want to learn my 500K funding strategy and how I was able to use this simple 3-step formula to fund my business, go ahead and click the video that's on the screen right now. It's going to take you to a video I did where I break down my entire 3-step strategy, and you can literally just steal it from me in this video. So go ahead and click the video on the screen, and I'll see you in that one.